so we're going to move on to Natalie of Samaritas. So, Natalie, if you can first tell us about your wide range of independent living options, and if you can describe the different apartment options in your main building, and then also just touch on the unique options that you have at the cottages that we'll be going into more in a bit.
Sure. The independent living has, the independent living on our campus, we have apartment style living that is in our 4-story building. We have 3 different size apartments that might work better for one versus another. Maybe you don't want to cook meals anymore, maybe you want a larger space. So we have studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And then we also have independent living condos, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. We call those the cottages. We have active style in one area, but yet all the activities and so on and so forth. We'll get into that, right?
Yep, we will. Yep. So specifically talking about your independent living, what are some of the amenities that your residents enjoy both within your community itself, and then also some of the perks that you have offered that are involved with being a resident of Samaritas, but that are actually outside of your location?
We have several things right on our campus. At the terraces, that 4-story building, we have a little store, we have a restaurant-style dining room, we have a cafe if people prefer a meal to go back to their apartment. We have a library, we have a clinic, we have a wellness area, not to mention all of the activities and all of the things we offer to the residents. There are outings, there is transportation free of charge within a 10-mile radius of Samaritas. If you have a dentist appointment and it's snowing and blowing and you don't want to drive out on those roads, or maybe you gave up driving, we could still get you to your appointment. Maybe it's a lawyer appointment, personal errands. We have a transportation person that could take you there. The many steps of aging we can handle. The campus that we offer all of these different things is something for you to think about. Do you love crocheting? Do you love playing cards? Do you like to harass your neighbors? Where's my hecklers to make me laugh here? Come on. There's a lot of options around.
You even had woodworking, right?
Yes,
a woodworking shop?
We have a wood shop as well.
What were some of the things that you had offered with the membership that were outside of your location?
Sure. So some of the communities, Grand Rapids is a great location. Frederick Meyer Gardens, we have a membership here. Some of our outings that we attend might be the symphony, might be the theater downtown. We have several memberships that Samaritas pays for, so then you can go onto those activities just included for the ride and for the fun.
Great. Okay, so let's move on to a point where a person might start needing some assistance with certain aspects of daily living. So what are the levels of care that are available on your campus, and what are the best options for couples who move in and then later one of them has a higher level of care than the other, which is a pretty typical situation?
Yes. Our 44 acres of our campus has basically 4 different locations. We have 5 couples that are living in separate locations based on their needs. We also have 1 couple together in 1 apartment. One is still independent living, can still take care of himself, can still do everything for himself, but his wife has multiple sclerosis, needs some assistance. She receives assisted living from our staff, going in 24/7 for that care that she might need. They are in the same apartment. Of course, the ideal situation is to be together, whether it's somebody needing that secured setting in memory care, or maybe it's somebody that needs skilled nursing. If we can keep you together as a couple, we can. If we have to look at different options, we have our moving coordinator, we have our directors of assisted living, we have our therapy director that takes part in a bridge meeting each week to talk about Jim, Bob, Sue at one location that might need to move over to the skilled nursing situation. With us having all of those options on campus, we want to take care of our residents first. Before Tom needs to move in, I might want to move Jim, Bob, or Sue first. Right?
You're my client.
Yes.
And then are those, this isn't on the sheet, so I'm kind of, sorry about that. So are some of those things just charged a la carte then, or how does that work as people need more specific care things? How are those options developed for each resident?
Yeah, we have the different levels of care might include maybe an assisted living charge added into your regular apartment rental. We have all one straight level of assisted living. So some communities in Grand Rapids have different levels of care based on your different needs. You might look at one place that looks cheaper because their assisted living starts at $4,000 or whatever it might be. If you know your ultimate diagnosis is going to get worse and worse, if you have Parkinson's or if you have a serious medical decline that you know is going to happen, maybe that's not what you're looking at. Maybe it's not that independent living location. So a la carte items, to go back to that question, we have a second person fee that can live in the same apartment. They have their monthly rent, but we also might add that second person fee if there is a spouse. There might be an added fee for your pet. You can have a dog or 2 cats. There might be an added fee for a beauty shop visit, or sorry, it's a salon. They can trim men's facial hair. So it's not a beauty shop, sorry guys. Different things on campus, there might be an added cost for a garage rental, a carport rental. People always want to know what those underlying charges or additional fees could be. We put it all out there right up front.
So I feel like it makes it all the more important for people to visit and get an idea of exactly what it would be for their particular situation. Right? So one of the things that I often talk to seniors about when they're, considering senior living is, well, how's the food? That can make a big difference, right? You either like it. I talk to some that move into these places and they're like, well, I've gained a few pounds because it's really, really yummy. So tell me a little bit about what your options are in terms of meals, and then also if you have residents that move in that have restricted diets of any sort, how do you navigate that?
Within our campus at the terraces, we have a restaurant-style dining room. Servers go to the table just like they would at a restaurant. We have breakfast for a few hours, lunch for a few hours, and supper for a few hours, whatever you want to call dinner in between there. We also have a cafe that offers meals to go. And then some residents, depending on the style of apartment they move to, might get 1 meal a day, might have 3 meals a day. And then as you decide, nope, I'm done cooking, or I don't want cold cereal anymore in my apartment, maybe you want to go for a hot breakfast, maybe you're out to a doctor's appointment and you get back late, we have options. Maybe it's just an a la carte option. Maybe you love the broccoli cheddar soup that is served at lunch and you want to take back another bowl for supper that night. There's lots of dining options. Our menus change out each week. We have a head chef that plans those menus. Up to 10 options each week. Always have a seafood, always have a chicken dish, always have some kind of beef or pork. Also have that grilled cheese always on the menu that maybe you just need that little bit of comfort with. With any restricted diets, our menu also has those a If you have the gluten allergy or the dairy or the peanut or so many allergies that are now popping up, those are labeled on the menus as well, those little wheat symbols or the little dairy symbols. With anybody that might need ground meat or thickened liquids after a stroke and they have swallowing issues, we kind of talk on a one-to-one basis about how we can approach that issue. With our one building being independent living and assisted living, it's up to you to still make those healthy choices. Yeah, I want French fries with every meal, but if I have a heart condition and I know I shouldn't have those fried French fries, well, then maybe I should look at the baked potato option instead. And our servers know how things are made. If they can't answer a question, is there breading on the chicken breast and you're allergic to gluten, our chef can answer those questions too.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good start. So cost, of course, is a big concern for many of the clients that I talk with who are considering senior living in any capacity. So can you give us a ballpark idea of what people can expect to pay in terms of an initial financial outlay, and then the range of what a resident can expect to pay after moving in, whether they're in independent living or assisted living?
Yes. So independent living within the terraces and the cottages, we have an upfront fee of $1,000 for the security deposit. That is refundable upon normal wear and tear of an apartment. If things aren't going well and you decide to move out with a 30-day notice, or if you pass away and money goes to a trust fund or your children, whatever that might be. An additional fee up front is a $3,000 community fee. That is basically paying for the new flooring that goes into the unit, and then the paint and the deep cleaning before somebody new moves in. Lots of people say, hey, do you change out the carpet before I move in? You don't want Tom's dust when you move in, right? So yes, we typically do. Yeah, please say that. We typically do change out the flooring unless it's somebody that's been there for a very short period of time. In addition to those upfront fees, those are one-time fees. If you're moving to the cottages and you transition to the apartment style and then you need assisted living, we do not charge those again across campus. Those are one-time fees at this point. And then your monthly rent might be $22.55 up to $40.40, depending on that style of apartment or condo you go into. If those needs change and you start to need assisted living, then of course the price goes up to $6,200 up to $6,500. Again, paying attention to those levels of care that you might need. Those assisted living rates, of course, go higher because we have staff there 24/7 that might deliver medications. They might be there to help you get up and transferred and get into the restroom 4 times a night, however many times that might be needed. They also do laundry, they also change your bedding. Housekeeping comes in once a week and cleans your apartment. How hard is it getting to vacuum? I hate vacuuming. Hurts my shoulder, hurts my elbow. Housekeeping will clean your bathrooms and vacuum your floors and mop your floors. So some of the different amenities that might come with that price, we have a cost comparison at our table that goes through what you might be paying at home right now, including your water bill, including your homeowner's insurance, including maybe you have a housekeeper that you pay to come into your home. Looking at all of the different aspects that you might pay at home. Maybe it's your snow removal coming up. Sorry, I said that dirty S word, right? You know, looking at all of the different things that you're paying at home, your grocery costs. Look at how much groceries have gone up. Have you stopped shopping at Meijer and gone to Aldi's now? You know, it's the different things that you are paying for at home that you might not have to worry about as you rent a place. Your shingles, you have a roof leak, you don't have to pay for that at Samaritas house, it's all rented, we take care of that.
Great. Yeah, that helps. So now I'm gonna just kind of revisit the cottages for a moment, because that was what I first, when I first got to know Samaritas a couple of years ago, was visiting these cottages. And I was just super impressed. I thought they were really, really neat, because they're just like their own condos. And I think condos are just a wonderful option for many people, and I help a lot of clients buy condos. But most certainly in the last few years, I mean, real estate prices have continued to go up. And so the idea of, purchasing a condo, depending on what the time frame might look like, or transitioning to a community maybe at a younger age than you might have originally thought, but taking advantage of essentially their condos, that can really be a good option. I mean, most of the condos in this area that are, typical larger condo in the Knapp's Corner area, you're looking right now between $350,000 and $400,000 all day long, plus the monthly condo fees. So that's a pretty substantial outlay when you're looking at it that way. So if you can talk a little bit about the cottages specifically, and why somebody might want to go to a place like Samaritas instead of buying their own condo.
Sure. Again, our condos are all rented, so you're not buying a condo. Maybe you could be there for 2 months and then need to transition. So the fact of renting, again, is attractive to some people. With our condos, why should you move to a senior community versus some of the other condos in Grand Rapids? We are just a senior community, 60 on up. So you're not gonna trip over anybody's bike that's left out into the road. You're not gonna hear those kids screaming and crying. That might drive you crazy anymore. We have like-minded people that might be going through that transition of the aging process together. Maybe you become a widow and you're moving in next to your new neighbor that is also widowed. Maybe it's together as a couple, and then all of a sudden one might need more and you transition and we have a conversation. So renting, in my mind, those condos, sometimes your laundry is in the basement or on the first level. You're still navigating stairs, but at our condos, they're all one level. There's one little step in the garage, literally this big. We have the appliances all included. You don't have to worry about your refrigerator going out. We will replace that refrigerator. If the washer and dryer breaks down, we have our maintenance team, or sometimes we have to call in the appliance repair people. So again, rented is sometimes what people prefer to partake in. You might be in a condo right now that might not be big enough. Maybe the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo could work for you. It's all in your preference. We have options. If you don't want to cook anymore, you could go into a studio that includes 3 meals a day.
And you guys are doing open houses
Yes.
at your
Yes.
condo site, right?
Yep. We have 24 condos total, and we had 3 empty. And I hear, gossip has it, that we just filled 2 more of those, so we have 1 more open. If you're looking at that dirty S word that's coming around the corner here, winter is about to hit. We have snow removal that comes in and does a great job on our sidewalks and driveways. The open houses, we have postcards at our tables about them. We have 1 tonight. We're kind of alternating Tuesday nights and Saturday mornings. So if you're interested in just stopping by, just take a peek at the condo. That could be a 5-minute trek out of your day. Could be a half hour if you want to see more and more. So it's just a low-key stop in and see what we offer.
Yeah, I think in a nutshell, the one word that would come to mind is flexibility. So, and I think that even with both of these communities, it does make it really easy to transition if something does change in your life, as opposed to still owning a property. Of course, I try and make senior transitions as easy as possible, and yet, any way you slice it, it's still a lot of work. And when you are in a community and have to transition for any reason, it's certainly less work than selling a property. So